Let's sit down together and discuss our mutual plans together. We got to finish the job. Let's do that.
And here in Wisconsin, we're seeing the results of this investment firsthand.
Fighting for the sake of fighting gets us nowhere. We're getting things done. This is a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America. There's nothing beyond our capacity if we work together. We're the United States of America. We're the best positioned nation in the world to lead the world in the 21st century. There's nothing beyond our capacity if we work together. It's my hope.
Strong words from President Joe Biden today during a speech right here in Dane County.
This was the first time a sitting president has visited Madison in more than a decade. Air Force One touched down on Wisconsin soil around 11:30 this morning. President Biden was greeted by local officials, including Governor Tony Evers and Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway.
After that, the presidential motorcade made its way to the Liuna Training Center in DeForest, where the president gave his speech. We have a team of reporters across the Madison area bringing you the latest on every angle today.
We'll walk you through the speech and share reaction from local politicians and communities. But first, a weather alert day begins our coverage tonight. Some big changes are on the way. Meteorologist Gary Canalti is on the weather patio. Gary?
Yeah, take a look at me. I'm in shirt sleeves. It's a little cool out here, but I couldn't do this tomorrow. Let's start out by taking a look at that weather alert day. First warned weather alert day for snow and wintry conditions. We do have winter storm watches in effect for Dane County from 3 a.m. until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Winter weather advisories already to the southwest and southeast and northwest of there, and a winter storm warning for Grant County. Visible cloud track shows the president had a great day today. Lots of sunshine here in southern Wisconsin. But while Doppler track is quiet for now, take a look at 6-hour future track radar. That's the precipitation coming in from the south. And after seeing high temperatures today in the middle 40s in Madison, close to 50 over parts of southwestern Wisconsin, temperatures this evening will drop into the middle 30s. It'll be dry this evening, but everything starts after midnight. I'll have more on that in the full forecast on the timing and how much snow we can expect in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Turning back now to the president's speech today in DeForest, he delivered highlights from last night's State of the Union address.
He touted his record on jobs and the economy, but took the opportunity to slam one of Wisconsin's senators while he was in the Badger State. Political reporter Will Keneally is in DeForest with more. Will?
Well, Susan and Eric, today we might have actually heard the first speech that the president is going to give as part of his re-election bid that he's currently mulling. Presidents usually stump around the country in the wake of their State of the Union address. And so why in Wisconsin? Makes sense to target Wisconsin as a swing state. And he brought with him a message of growing the economy and creating jobs. But as you mentioned, he also accused Republicans of being out of touch, calling out one of Wisconsin's senators for changes that he wants to make to Social Security.
Ron Johnson. We should transfer everything, so we have to consider everything every year. Come on, man.
So if you heard boos during last night's speech, it was likely on this issue. So Senator Johnson has called in the past for moving Social Security into what's called the discretionary budget. That means that it's not guaranteed that the program would get re-upped each year. As we mentioned before, this was part of a broader economic message that the president was bringing to Wisconsin, talking about how to bolster jobs and the economy in places like Wisconsin. We'll have more on that economic message coming up tonight at 6. Reporting from DeForest, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
We will see you at 6, Will. Thank you. In his message, the president said his economic plan is creating jobs and delivering results for the American people.
But how much is the president actually delivering on those promises for Wisconsin? Our Catherine Merck spent the day looking at our state's unemployment data. Catherine?
Take a look at this data from the feds. The darker blue colors on this map have higher unemployment rates compared to other states. Keep an eye on Wisconsin as we go through this data here. When Biden was sworn into office into the earlier months on this map, we can see more dark blue. An unemployment rate rate was at 4.4% in our state. By December 2022, we can see many of those dark blue colors on the map go away. That's the rate going down in Wisconsin to 3.2%. That's slightly below national numbers, 3.4% according to recent Fed's data and what President Biden told us today. I spoke with an economic expert of growth and development at the University of Wisconsin, Madison this afternoon. He tells me these lower rates could play a big factor in keeping the impact of a recession lower.
If the unemployment numbers were not as low as they are and the jobs numbers are not as strong as they are, I think that the consensus would be that we are going to go into a recession. It'd be a mild recession, but right now with the jobs numbers, we're probably going to go into a soft landing, maybe dip into a very mild recession.
Wisconsin Republicans have targeted Biden over a possible recession. As you just heard, GOP leaders say Biden's messaging is trying to mask the true state of our economy as inflation continues to hurt Wisconsin families. Coming up next at 6, I'll continue to explain the statewide trends for both unemployment and the economy from the perspective of some of our local leaders.
Catherine, thank you. Republicans responding to the president's visit today,
saying that his message of economic wins may not reflect the whole story. Our McKenna Alexander spoke to Congressman Brian Stile today. She is live at the Capitol with more. McKenna?
Yeah, the congressman's message is one of inflation, rising costs, and families in need of help. From his view and other Republicans I spoke with today, the president's visit today comes as a way of repairing a lagging reputation ahead of a bid for the 2024 election.
I hope the president takes it as an opportunity to listen to the challenges that workers are facing in Wisconsin right now. We've seen falling wages against rising costs for over 2 years. That's a huge challenge for Wisconsin families. We got to get our costs under control.
Earlier today, the state Republican chair said Wisconsin is one of just a few states in play for the next presidential election. And today's visit is an attempt to lock down a battleground state. Meanwhile, other local officials experienced the president's visit up close, like 2nd District Congressman Mark Buchan, who flew with him in Air Force One. That's where we find our Armand Rahman live right now with him outside the City County building.
Yeah, McKenna, it was the first time in 11 years that a sitting president stopped in Madison, and Congressman Buchan here was with him. When he arrived, Congressman, tell me, what was that flight like?
It's always great to fly in Air Force One. I mean, it's something, it's kind of a pinch-worthy moment, right? You get a chance to do that with the president. And he came out, we had a good 15-minute conversation about a little bit about the speech, a little bit about growing up in cars. We talked about a lot of things, but it's important just to have those conversations. It helps us to deliver for the district.
Definitely. And, this was, his first stop after the State of Union. Tell me, was this sort of like a soft, re-election campaign launch here?
Well, I think it's important because, Wisconsin's a state where, we used to make a lot of things, right? We've lost a lot of manufacturing. A lot of the president's speech was about all the jobs that he's created through things like the infrastructure bill and the CHIPS Act and other things. So he's really focusing on places like Wisconsin where we want to get people back to work.
Perfect. And, all right. Thank you so much for the time, Congressman. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, Eric and Susan, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Armand Rahman live downtown with Congressman Buchan. Thank you. People living in DeForest are both excited and some even a bit on edge knowing they were chosen to host a presidential visit.
Tahlil Moeddin talked to residents about the unexpected visit. She is live in DeForest with their reaction. Tahlil?
Well, it certainly wasn't a visit anyone thought would be the talk of the village earlier this week, but now that it's happened, for many, it's one for the books. When the presidential motorcade rolls through your community,
are just kind of shocked and surprised.
It's not every day that a village with a population just over 10,000 people gets a visit from the commander-in-chief.
I happened to click on the news story this morning, and I was like, oh, the Madison area, cool. Wait, DeForest. Wait, I know where that is. Whoa!
Rachel Schenk has lived in DeForest since she was 6 years old, and she says she can't remember anything this exciting happening in all her years as a resident.
It just kind of took me by surprise.
Not everyone got the memo.
I had no idea, actually, that the president was coming to DeForest today.
It wasn't until she heard from her kid's school that Marcia Zerke was clued in.
We got an email from one of my kids' teachers saying that they were outside during recess, so everybody came in very excited because they got to see Air Force One flying into the airport.
Still, not everyone was thrilled. A group of protesters gathering nearby the training center where Biden spoke says his good intentions aren't enough.
The way he wants to achieve those things, I don't think that those are the way to get there. Our organization doesn't think that these are solutions to get to those things either.
So they're encouraging people to look past the politics and fanfare.
Look at your family, look at the way you guys are living, see if these policies actually line up with your values, and then get out and make your voices heard.
People I spoke with also said regardless of which way you lean, having the president in town is a good reminder of your civic duty to vote. Reporting live in DeForest, Tahlil Hadim, News 3 Now.
Tahlil, thank you. Right now, President Biden is wrapping up his trip to Wisconsin. He'll be heading back to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland any minute now. Stay with News 3 and channel3000.com for full coverage of the president's visit to the Madison area. Our live team coverage continues tonight at 6 and 10, and our reporters will share a full recap of the visit with reaction from both sides of the aisle.
Coming up, Gary tells us what to expect as an alert day approaches southern Wisconsin.
Plus, a surprise from the Madison School District Superintendent, Dr. Carlton Jenkins, today, announcing his plans to retire soon. We'll have more details after the break.
Traders seeing red in midweek trading. The Dow falling more than 207 points. The Nasdaq down 203. The S&P loses 46. We'll be right back.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Tempur-Pedic mattresses are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Right now, save up to $500 on adjustable base sets, plus get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Queen Tempur-Pedics start at just $38 per month when you use Steinhoffels 72-month financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth? Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there, and I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on, and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I used the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got a rubber on my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth this Valentine's Day by ordering power swabs and receive 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
As a winter storm heads for southern Wisconsin, a first warned weather alert day is in the forecast. At 6, I'll let you know when the wintry mess will arrive.
Then an historic day for the Madison area. Team coverage of the first visit by a sitting president in over a decade tonight at 6.
A complex winter storm triggers an alert day. Expect a mix of rain, freezing rain, and wet, heavy snow throughout the area. Go to channel3000.com for handy information to help you prepare, and download the First Warned Weather app to keep you ahead of the storm.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Speaking today, the Madison School District Superintendent, Dr. Carlton Jenkins, announced this morning that he plans to retire in July.
Just 3 years ago, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Jenkins began his role in the Madison District. Our Andrew Banstra has got you covered with the story. Andrew?
Dr. Jenkins vowed during his introductory press conference 3 years ago to improve the district. After grappling with a global pandemic while running Madison's public school district, he announced his retirement today. In his State of the District address last week, Jenkins said the district had made strides during his tenure. I spoke with the president of Madison's teacher union and the school district in the wake of the news.
The union, even though we've had our ups and downs, appreciates Dr. Jenkins' service. He came in at a really, really difficult time in everyone's lives.
He has led this district through the most challenging time in the history of the school district, and that will be his legacy. I mean, he was the right superintendent at the right time.
Jenkins said the motivating factor behind the decision was to spend more time with his family, specifically his 3-year-old grandson. The district says in the coming weeks, the school board will discuss the next steps on hiring a new superintendent.
Andrew, thank you. In the wake of the killing of Tyree Nichols, we are seeking answers from our community leaders about what they're doing to ensure that we will avoid a similar incident here. Tomorrow on News 3 Now at 5, we're sitting down live with a roundtable of 3 police chiefs from Madison, Janesville, and Beloit. I'll be asking the big questions. Can they assure the public that their internal culture will not lead to similar incidents? And then on Friday here at 5, we're following up live with 2 Madison area lawmakers. Eric will be asking them if they believe the system itself is at fault.
The devastating earthquake that struck Syria and Turkey has now claimed more than 11,000 lives, but there is a glimmer of hope as rescue teams continue to find people buried alive in the rubble. Isabel Rosales has more.
Beneath crumbled neighborhoods, signs of life. On top of a pile of debris, rescuers cheer and carry a child to medical help. These 2 children and other survivors freed from the tangle of steel and concrete. Over in northwestern Syria, where some areas are controlled by anti-government rebels, aid agencies are especially worried. It's home to more than 4 million people already relying on humanitarian help.
This country has already been suffering from the devastation of the war. And now to have those crises, this earthquake on top of the crisis, it's like the perfect storm that nobody ever wished for.
Another worry, as cold settles in, many survivors now homeless and facing freezing temperatures. At this Istanbul Aid Collection Center, organized chaos, food, water, and other necessities stacked high. But it's not enough. Hospitals in war-torn Syria are overloaded, says UNICEF, and the widespread damage caused a temporary disruption to the United Nations' only approved crossing to deliver aid into Syria.
The fact is, the Assad regime continues to block aid, and he, alongside Russia, have stopped and blocked cross-line and cross-border aid to millions of civilians that are out in the cold.
Calls are mounting for the U.S. and United Nations to do more. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Meanwhile, the Syrian government is calling on the U.S. and European Union to lift economic sanctions in the wake of the crisis to expedite aid efforts. Well, let's get a look at your first warned weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti has more on tonight's Alert Day. Gary?
You know, it doesn't seem like we're expecting a winter storm. We had a mild day today. You can see on Doppler track, very little precipitation across the upper Midwest. But take a look at 6-hour future track radar, and here's what's happening. Rain to our south starts heading northward, and as the air starts turning just cold enough for snow or a mix of precipitation, notice as we get closer toward midnight near the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, some snow, maybe a little bit of sleet or freezing rain in there, but that's what's expected to happen, and then that will overspread most of southern Wisconsin as we head into the day tomorrow. We have that alert day in the forecast. Put it in a couple of days ago, but a first warned weather alert day for late tonight and tomorrow for 2 to 8 inches of snow. Now, again, this is a pretty big range. It looks like the heaviest band of snow may shift a little bit farther south than what we were expecting yesterday. So right now, it looks like the heaviest band will probably fall, say, near the Wisconsin River over northwestern Dane County. It'll be a narrow band, and there could be some freezing rain mixed in as well. But all of southern Wisconsin will probably get at least 2 to 3 inches of snow. But you see just how narrow that band is, probably about a county wide. And so it could shift north or south a little bit. Again, temperatures are going to be critical because farther south, we'll see a mixture of rain and snow for a little while longer before it changes over to all snow. The farther north and west you go, the back edge of the snow storm will cut off the snow. So it's that you know, that's, as I said yesterday, that sweet spot between where you have enough moisture for snow and temperatures are cold enough for it to happen. So for that reason, the National Weather Service is keeping the winter storm watch going, which has been expanded into the Madison and Dane County area for late tonight through tomorrow. Already a winter storm warning for Grant County and areas to the south and west. Just a little more uncertainty for Madison, so the Weather Service will hold off going to either an advisory or a warning until later on this evening. But winter weather advisories in effect for Rock County into Jefferson County, and then north and west toward the Dells, where the amounts of snow will be a little bit lower. So across southern Wisconsin, again, that winter storm watch for Dane County and areas immediately to the west and north, 3 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. Winter weather advisories northwest and southeast of there, and that winter storm warning already in effect for Grant County. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy, windy. Mixed precipitation will change over to snow early in the day, and some of that snow could be heavy, especially mid to late morning into early afternoon. About 2 to 8 inches of snow. High temperature around 35, but temperatures will hold nearly steady through the day. Now, as we plan your day starting around midnight tonight, notice temperatures right around freezing or just a little bit above. Here comes that precipitation. Snow to the north and west of Madison, rain to the south, maybe a mix in between. But as we start to get into the early morning hours tomorrow, notice how that mix starts to shift a little bit farther toward the south, with mainly rain over southeastern Wisconsin. Even though temperatures are right around freezing, mainly snow to the north and west of Madison. So again, this area right in here, probably seeing the heaviest snow. By noon, everybody's seeing snow. And then notice by 4 p.m., it starts to pull off to the east and everything winds down pretty quickly. That narrow band from about Grant County right along the Wisconsin River into Columbia County and then up into the Fox Valley. But again, it could shift north or south a little bit, and that would make a little difference in the snowfall amounts. And again, a little bit of freezing rain, a possibility in some spots. 7 to 10 day forecast. Colder in the wake of the storm on Friday. We warm back up to 32 Saturday and near 40 early next week. The next storm system bringing mainly rain from Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, and then a mix of rain and snow Thursday. We turn colder at the end of next week. As we check out our first warn traffic right now, things looking pretty good on the Beltline. The President's motorcade is gone. We're seeing just a bit of a slowdown eastbound on the Beltline right around Monona Drive to Stoughton Road. Otherwise, as far as travel times are concerned, just an extra minute on the eastbound Beltline compared to the westbound Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. US 12 Middleton to Sauk City takes you 16 minutes. Downtown to Sun Prairie, East Washington Avenue, and US 151 is a 20-minute commute. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Thank you, Gary. Stay up to date on the weather on our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has school closings, hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. Coming up, it was a historic night in basketball after NBA legend LeBron James broke the all-time scoring record. We'll take you to the court after the break.
Now, First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A former prosecutor, now circuit court judge, Janet Protasewicz. On the Supreme Court, she'll be a common-sense judge. She believes in abortion rights, fairness for all, and protecting public safety. Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy.
Since my skin was so irritated and itchy.
And even worse with all my gear on.
Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema. So adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
This President's Day, we're throwing a 5-star celebration at Bob's Discount Furniture, making it super easy to shop my top-rated products. I've got on-trend styles, unbeatable prices, thousands of highly rated and reviewed pieces ready to ship now. So this President's Day, ditch the gimmicks and phony sales because the stars have aligned at Bob's. The reviews are in. Shop Bob's for style, value, and quality.
I'm going for Judge Janet
Protasewicz? You don't need to know how to say Protasewicz to know that Judge Janet believes in abortion rights, fairness, and public safety.
Protasewicz.
Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. And LeBron stands alone. He does indeed. An emotional night for basketball legend, LA Lakers superstar LeBron James after he broke the NBA's all-time scoring record.
That brings his total career score to more than 38,000 points. Jared Hill shares more from the historic night in basketball.
LeBron James, a shot at history.
A step-back jumper, and it's one for the record books.
The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Tuesday night, James, the 38-year-old forward for the LA Lakers, pushed his career total past 38,388 points, breaking a record set by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 39 years ago.
Everybody that's ever been a part of this run with me the last 20 years, 20-plus years, I just want to say I thank you so much because I wouldn't be me without y'all.
LeBron has conducted himself with class. He had a plan. He came right out of high school and went after excellence on the court.
LA City Hall lit up in Lakers purple and gold, honoring King James as he's come to be known.
Incredible. Wow. Wow. Beautiful.
That's what Black history looks like. Yeah, we were here. We came, we saw, he conquered.
Celebs and everyday fans alike left in awe.
Fantastic to be here in the building. Never heard the stadium rock like that.
Those closest to James took the moment to also honor his work off the court.
His businesses, him speaking out on social issues, his leadership. Like I said, he's an example to not just young basketball players, but young human beings.
LeBron now becomes the 7th person ever to hold the career NBA scoring record.
LeBron's total score will no doubt continue to rise as long as he chooses to keep playing.
He's pretty good right now. James under contract for 2 more years with the Lakers. He has suggested he might be sticking around long enough to play with his son, Bronny, who is currently a senior in high school.
What a moment that would be, yeah.
He can still play, I'll tell you. We'll be back. Final check of the forecast in a moment.
This is it, Wisconsin. Ashley's Mattress Marathon starts now. Save up to 75% off top mattress brands like Beautyrest, Serta, Purple, Tempur-Pedic, and more while supplies last. Happening now at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley.
Your foundation doesn't improve the appearance of under-eye puffiness. Your concealer doesn't make fine lines disappear. Even worse, they can make those imperfections more noticeable. Introducing Tint and Tighten, a new must-have, lightweight tinted cream that is sure to find its place in your makeup routine. Tint and Tighten is the only tinted cream that creates a temporary tightening layer on the surface of the skin, which works to instantly reduce the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and under-eye puffiness.
So with foundation, normally it just
kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone, so you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
Tint and Tighten works to smooth out wrinkles and under-eye puffiness in just 10 minutes while covering and concealing dark circles, age spots, and uneven skin tone, making you look and feel years younger.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
40s was a bit of a shocker for me because 40s I noticed the skin under my eyes getting very loose, and then 50s hit and I'm 54 and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure and it's actually a gift for anyone.
What's even better is that these remarkable results last for up to 8 hours without needles or injections. Want to look your best for that upcoming event, date night, or job interview? Maybe you simply want to feel younger and more confident with your appearance. Then add Tint and Tighten to your makeup routine and bring youthfulness back to your life. Try it this Valentine's Day for only $19.95. Plus, get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
Race to savings on all of your automotive needs at Menards. From tools and accessories to maintenance and everything in between. Wiper blades? Copy that. Motor oil? Done. Trust Menards to help out with all of your automotive needs. Put trust in your vehicle with Blue Def Platinum. Avoid costly repairs and maintain optimum diesel fuel economy. Receive a $5 rebate on Blue Def Platinum Diesel Exhaust Fluid. Race to savings now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Hey, Wisconsin, the Friends and Family Sale is going on now at Ashley. To thank you for your loyal support over the last 54 years, you pay what our friends and family pay and not a penny more. Find furniture up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 15% off our sale prices at checkout at Ashley.
And Gary's back with some weather coming our way.
Yeah, calm before the storm right now. Here's the live view of the WISC-TV Skycam. Those clouds on the southern horizon, those are the forerunners of what's on the way. But right now, no precipitation across southern Wisconsin. 6-hour future track radar, though, shows by around midnight, probably some rain and snow, maybe some freezing rain down toward the Illinois state line. Winter weather advisories north and south of Dane County, winter storm watch for Dane County, and a winter storm warning already for Grant County.
All right, we'll have more in a half hour on News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.